Scoobity doo wop, doo 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 wop, doo 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 wop, doo wop, doo wop, doo doo.
If you didn't know, that's our new intro. No, I'm recovering from a cold right now. Got
Same.
Got some sniffles going on.
I feel like it's going around hard right now.
Changing the seasons. We live in Texas, changes every 4 times a day.
The weather hoses us on the daily.
Rain, sunshine,
Mosquitoes.
Terrific. On the bright side, it's fall now. It's been fall for 4 days.
Has it been?
It's almost a week, I think. At least it's less than a week. I know that.
Is it fall or is it autumn?
Both. The same thing.
Why is it both? There's not another word for summer or winter or spring, but there's one for
spring. Yeah, you're right.
I guess for the summer they just say hot, and for the winter they just say cold. Spring rains a lot, I guess.
Because I think that's when you think of poetry, you think of the fall time, right?
I think it's autumn, but then they call it fall because it's when the leaves fall off. Is that right?
Sounds right. Sounds good to me. I'm not an expert on the
seasons.
Changing of the seasons.
Who is and why are they?
Where are they?
Why would that be a job?
Good job, everybody.
Hey, bud, what do you do? Well, my name's Bob. I'm a doctor. I am an expert in the field of the seasons. You mean what do you mean, fashion season? Nah, bro, winter, summer, autumn, or fall, whichever you prefer. Spring, yeah, that's my job. I'm an expert. It's a strange job.
Killing it over here, Josh. You're really killing it.
You're giving me a lot of feedback, but that's fantastic.
You're giving us the zingers today.
Bazinga.
Okay, all right. Well, moving forward from that. So usually I do a challenge. Last week's challenge, I believe, was writing down all your goals, kind of visualizing everything, having something to look forward to, and just taking the steps to achieve that, or at least putting it out on paper so you can kind of see what you're doing. And this week, what I'd like to kind of piggyback on that is not only do that, start taking those actions. Maybe just do something small. Give someone a compliment day to day. Just say, hey, looking good over there, guy.
Looking good.
That might scare him. I don't know if I did that per se.
Just kidding.
Or I wouldn't go too far and go out of my way too much to say it because you might freak somebody out. Be subtle with it. Maybe just hold the door for someone starting off. Something just
Yeah, you got to be careful nowadays. I feel like nowadays you just being genuinely nice, some people would take as an offensive or an attack or something like that. I don't know.
Depends on how you say it.
Not really, not always. Because you'll have your random super left-wing feminist that you open the door for them. I don't need you. I'm a strong, independent woman. You think I need you to open the door for me? You really meet people like that these days, and that's just an example. But there's this broad spectrum. I haven't met
anyone like that.
I've met some people that are assholes and that do act like that.
Well, they're just assholes.
Yeah,
we'll just leave it at that.
There's a lot of assholes.
I agree.
That's my point.
Well, don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. That was another one of our goals last week. Be honest, but don't be an asshole.
Don't do that. So don't be an asshole. That's another one. So what was it? Okay, write down your goals. Continue doing that. If you've been meditating, continue doing that. Work towards your goals. Work towards doing whatever you want to do. Don't do what other people want you to do. Unless you care about them, I guess.
It's good to take advice. You just have to understand that every piece of advice isn't to be followed. It is to be heard, not to be followed. Different thing to take direction rather than to listen to direction and utilize it to formulate your own life.
And if you've been listening to this podcast, you should know by now it's mostly focused around positivity. We're big on making change yourself. And of course, everyone has a different situation. So you can't. It's not always going to be a one size fits all with anything. So take whatever we say with a grain of salt. We're not perfect. But also, I think this episode more so, I kind of want to focus on more of the real things, because it is good to be positive and stay optimistic, but it's also good to be and understand what life is in order to be positive. Because people think being positive is just saying, "Yeah, we can do it." Look, no, don't get me wrong. It's not just always gonna be like, "That's not okay." You gotta be real with people sometimes. You can't just say, "Oh man, we'll get them next time."
No, yeah, you do have to. There's people do. So that's kind of like a point of like what I was trying to say. Like nowadays, people will take offense to anything. That kind of ties into what I'm saying now. Is kind of like people would take offense to even that, like constructive criticism. You to say like, this is what you can do better. It's like, oh, you think you know better than me? You think you can tell me what to do now? And like she's like, no. But if you want to improve on what you're failing at, then maybe if you'd listen to me, I could help you out with that. Some people don't like that. Some people don't see constructive criticism. They just see criticism.
I've definitely had moments where we're saying certain things, they want people's help, and then I hit them with the straightforward answer of the cause, and then they look at me. Well, I don't want that kind.
Yeah.
What do you want? You want me just to sit there and tell you it's gonna be okay? Because if you want me to be honest with you, at the way you're going, it probably won't be.
Some people just want you to feel bad for them. They want you to like. Have you ever met somebody who has a problem that they explain to you, and you're like, oh well, what, you could just do this, and then whatever you just said solves their problem entirely. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, no, I can't do that because of this. And whatever the explanation was that they said they can't solve their problem with is some complete bullshit. Have you ever met somebody like that?
I mean, yeah, a couple times.
It's like if somebody's like, I can't pay my rent. It's like, do you have a job? It's like, no. It's like, have you applied for a job? No, I haven't applied for a job. It's like, well, why do you have an apartment if you don't have a job and you haven't applied for a job? It's like, so like at that point, it's like, I just solved your problem for you. If you want to pay rent, or first of all, if you want to sign up to have rent, have a job, or if you don't have a job, start fucking applying for a job. If you need money, obviously I'm not saying go do something that you hate doing, but obviously you have to live within your means. You have to eat, you have to live, you have to provide shelter for yourself and potentially family if you have it.
I like having all of you as friends. Simple fact, when I give advice, I'm good at, evaluating circumstances other than my own most of the time. Facts. So whenever I come to you or anybody else, when I ask you, the answer is, shut up. You already know the answer. You're just asking us to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm just, fuck you.
Because a lot of the times you do know the answer, and it's just like, I don't have time for this. Like, I love you, Daniel, but stop wasting my time with this bullshit. You know the answer to your own question.
It's nice to think, because sometimes you have to admit you're a dickhead. I'll sit there and I'll think, should I be doing this? Probably not. So I'm embarrassing.
But you do it anyways, and that's why I'm just like, Daniel, first of all, if it was like one time that you came over and was like, hey man, like I need help with this, and I was like, bro, like what you just told me, you know how to solve your own problem. You're like, I know, but I don't know. If that only happened one time, that'd be something. But the fact that it happened multiple times, after the first time, you're completely wasting my time. I'm like, bro, we talked about this, and it's been like a week now or some shit. Like, get your shit together. Why are we still talking about this? Get your shit in the backpack and put it together so it's together.
Sometimes you just want somebody, though. I mean, it's good to talk about.
Okay.
Sometimes you just want to talk about it, though, and you just want to get it
I
off
feel
your chest.
you.
Even if you know the answer, sometimes it's good to have someone just sit there, even though you are probably wasting their time.
I mean, but I'm not
I'll waste
saying
your time,
wasting my time. It's because it's not a waste of my time per se. What I'm saying is that whenever you come over there, it's like you're wasting your own time, really, because you're not going to get a different answer than you got from the first time. At that point, you're coming over to get told, shut up, you're a dickhead. If you already got the advice the first time and then you come over with the same problem and like, oh, bro, I don't know what to do. It's like, bitch, I told you what to do, you fucking dickhead. Shut your ass up.
To be fair, I think it's funny sometimes. So I'll sit there and I'll think about it. This will be the best option to do. But logic doesn't always have a play. Sometimes you gotta spice your own life up a bit. And for everyone who likes to do that, don't do it.
No, do it. It just understand there's consequences to your decisions.
Exactly. And don't get upset when those
Sometimes
consequences come back at you. Just laugh at it.
Sometimes the consequences can be nice and they can be abundant and give you good experiences, but sometimes the consequences can lead to bad experiences and bad things that you do not want in your life, like Mr. Daniel has experienced for himself.
Happens. Happens.
To the best of us.
You gotta keep on trucking. Someone said that somewhere one time.
I believe in you.
Don't remember who said that. Just gotta keep on trucking.
Oh, a great man once said, okay.
Okay, exactly. But life's not always gonna be positive. It's not necessarily what life is, though. It's what you make of life. And yeah, don't get me wrong. Some people's life circumstances or what's going on in their life sucks. I'm sure anyone else can relate out there, but there's points in time where it's L after L after L, and you're like, how many losses can I take before I get a W?
I feel
and
that.
And it keeps piling and piling and piling. And is this gonna be over?
But it's like, I guess, I don't know. It's difficult to talk about that in a position where I'm sitting because I guess I haven't necessarily had to deal with like, I guess what I'm saying is like I've dealt with like loss and bullshit that I didn't really like, but I've also overcame it. But I understand how people don't overcome that because I almost didn't. So like what I'm talking about is like, I guess the only way to get out of catching L after L is to pull yourself out because nobody's gonna do that shit for you. Nobody can do that shit for you. At this point, it's like I guess I'm not really like a great proponent in the law of attraction as far as like people utilize it, say that things are gonna happen for them if they want them to happen for them. But it's all about the action point of view from that. Like you have to put actions towards attractions, in my opinion. And so like at that point, you're taking L after L. You can't say when am I gonna get a W. You have to say when am I gonna make myself get a W. Nobody's gonna. Whenever there's a if you think about competition or sports or whatever, if you think about a fight or whatever, there's a winner and a loser. Nobody wants to lose, but somebody has to. In every competition, in every sport, in every fight, in every job offer or whatever. Thing is that you could always lose until you figure out how to win. But the thing is you're going against people that will lose inevitably if you win. So they have just as much drive not to lose as you do. You just have to set yourself apart from them. I mean, it's up to you to figure out how to do that. Some people don't want to put the work in to do that, though.
And I think a lot of people don't know where to start either. I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't say okay. For the most part, growing up, I never really focused on a lot of things going on around me. That just wasn't like who I was. I probably really didn't start focusing on everything else, which is good and bad. You know, you should focus on things around you.
When you say like things around you, you mean like your community or like just like the world, or you just mean like everything outside your family?
I meant just whatever wasn't associated with what I was doing at that moment. Don't get me wrong. If I came in contact with you, I'd be nice, and I was always helpful.
Cordial.
Yeah, I was never a rude person. I just mean in the sense of I never let other things affect me. If someone was going to say something to me, I never looked deep into things.
Right.
When it came to stuff.
Okay.
That situation, I would always just adapt to whatever was going on. If you didn't like me, cool, on. You did. It probably wasn't until my senior year of high school, I was 18 years old, when I probably really started noticing other things around me and started, wow, there's a lot of fucked up shit going on.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. I was still interested in the world. I started, I was into philosophy freshman year of high school. I was reading a lot. I was big into the mind and spirituality then. That's around the age I started getting into all that stuff. That was more focused on myself. I was never really a big person to sit there and think, what is this person? And how does their life affect me? Is more so, how does my life affect me? And if their life is affecting me and I don't like it, I'm not gonna even
What do you think caused that change?
Ah, man, I think what really caused that change for me, losing my best friends at the time, it was over something super silly, in my personal opinion. I didn't have, I was always cool with everybody, but I wouldn't say I was close with a lot of people. I wasn't close with a lot of people. I had friends, like we were friends for a
Yeah.
while. We had known each other forever, but I wasn't just close with a lot of people.
Right.
And so I had I still had a pretty good group of friends. But the ones I consider closest to me, whole situation, I'll just give a brief summary. I don't even care about talking about it anymore. It's been so long. If you're listening and you're a part of the story.
Thank you. You're welcome for being joined into our podcast. Feel honored.
The basic situation was they had a girlfriend. Supposedly, that girl, another one of my friends had told me, hey, you cheated on him with me. So that was another one of my good friends. You're sitting there, and I'm like, oh. I was like, I guess I shouldn't say anything at first.
Okay.
So this is my good friend telling me one thing about another good friend. What do you do?
It's like, what did you do? Because what I would have did was told my mans that his girl was cheating on him. Straight up. I'd have been like, I mean, this happened with me with one of my friends too. Like later on, it was outside of high school, but it was with like two of one of my best friends at the time. That shit was kind of funny. One of my guys was outside in college, outside the state in college, and his girl cheated on him with one of my boys that was down here. Crazy. Told that man the night that I found out though. He broke up with her that night, and that's it. Me, him, and the dude that she cheated on him with for smoking with each other Thanksgiving break that year too. Whenever he came back in town, it didn't matter.
Well, this wasn't. I'm glad that turned out great for you, John.
It turned out fantastic because I was honest.
Well, on that note, I was also honest, and it turned out the exact opposite for me. So, continuing on with the story, I waited a couple months because I'm conflicted. I don't want to screw one of my friends over. But being this fact, I said, this is one of my really good friends. He has the right to know he loves this person. Right. I really believed in their relationship too. Oh man, they love each other. You can do it. I was really there for him. I support you. When I found that out, I was heartbroken. Oh man. I'm like 17, 18. I'm thinking, this is love. No.
It's like, I thought this was love. Love is a sham.
It wasn't even my relationship. That's what was going through my mind. I'm saying,
that's crazy.
Is love even real?
That's crazy.
So then I tell him, of course, terrible situation. This man breaks down. It's horrible. Right in front of me.
Damn. You started crying?
Yeah. So it was bad. So me and my other friend are sitting there. What do we do? Right? Man completely ghosted me.
Ghosted you?
Yeah.
But you didn't even fuck his girlfriend.
I know. And then the crazy thing, listen, this is where it gets wild. He ended up ghosting me because he thought it was a plot, that we were all plotting on him, and that I lied to him, and he stayed with her. And he thought I was lying to him because one of us were gonna try to get with her.
Was she lying to him about y'all?
It was all a lie.
So she was denying everything.
But to be fair, I didn't know either way. My friend, I talked to my
crazy.
Friend, but either way, I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but that's crazy though. Like, so wait,
he ghosted, yeah, and so
he ghosted you like you fucked his girlfriend.
And so at that point, losing the people close, so it was him, and then another one of my friends before that, who I thought was one of my friends, he tried talking to a girl that I had specifically. I mean, I get it, all fair,
all fair in love and war.
Whatever.
You can't be butthurt about that shit.
Yeah, but I told him, I said, hey man, I really like this person. I'm gonna try talking to him. Went completely out of his way to I invited her out, and he texted her before, like we were all like going. It was like friends or whatever.
Damn.
And he said, come sit by me. Oh, okay. Yeah, is that how we're gonna play it? It was like, I'm not friends. I didn't even give it a second.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't give it a second guess.
Why? That's just a female. I mean, it's not that serious. We were like, what, 18? 16?
That's when I was like 17.
17?
Still though.
Do you even remember that girl's name?
Yes.
What, does she matter to you anymore?
No.
All right. Then why do you care about, why did that matter so much?
Hey, fair point, but if you knew who that
friendship?
was, that person ended up being a very horrible and terrible person. Probably one of the
Okay.
worst people that we know.
Oh my God. Fair enough, but
So
fair enough. But my point is, you can't be so dramatic.
no,
These
man.
girls are
If I
mean,
no, you know, if I
bro.
told you, if I
Nah.
told you straight up, Josh, I really like this girl. I
Where's-
really want to go for it. You know, you wouldn't go out of your
I
way.
wouldn't, because I don't go out of my way ever. So personally, that's just me.
Yeah, but you know, if I told
But
you
what I'm saying
that-
is that if this man was really that wild, he probably had reasoning behind what he was doing. So therefore, maybe he felt about her just the same way you did.
He had a
And his
girlfriend.
man. Okay, then maybe that's different. And that's an asshole right there. Then that's a whole different story. I don't know.
So that was
Playing
two of my
devil's advocate.
that was two of my closest friends. You definitely are two of my closest friends, and
You
I
can't be
still
so
have one of my
dramatic.
friends who I'm not as close with now, but we still talk. You know, so two of my closest friends that I pretty much told everything to completely didn't like shut off. Didn't talk to them at all. This man didn't like me for whatever reason. You know, funny story. I ended up hitting that. I'm gonna get back to the main point of the story. But funny. 2 years later, or it was probably a year and a half. End up talking to him again. His art's phenomenal, by the way. I still love his art. It's great. Talked to him again because I was, you know, like, hey, your art's really good, whatever.
Oh, who you're talking.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So let's work together. You know what I mean? I really loved his art. I tried to do a project. We started doing a project. Similar situation with his girlfriend again, with the same guy who had told me the first time. And then I had to tell him. I didn't tell him this time because I'm not going back down this road again.
Oh, okay.
I said, I'm not going back down this road again. He ended up finding out, and somehow I was still the bad guy.
That was like 2.5 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while now.
It's been a minute.
But I mean, whenever I lost him as friends, I was senior year of high school.
Right.
That's what changed my
I
whole
was talking about
outlook
like
on
the more
everything.
recent event was like not. It wasn't like a year, 2.5.
And that's what changed my perspective.
Right.
I trusted these people. I was like, okay, you know, I figure I do all the right things. I show loyalty to my friends. I try to be the best friend that I can be and be there for them. Fuck you, Daniel. Like, but the best thing did end up coming out of that. I ended up becoming friends with all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say that you were already friends with us throughout. Like, I don't know. You were kind of.
That's what I'm saying. Is I was always. It was like I was there. As
I'm not gonna lie. You was a little scandalous though. Like you used to be hopping around like vibes and just like you was popping up everywhere type shit.
I was just chilling.
I'm Daniel. But that's what I'm saying. It's like if you chill in enough places, you find out some shit. You can get scandalous real quick.
But I did, and I wasn't. I'm saying I wasn't worried about anything.
You weren't worried about nothing. You just knew everything.
But I didn't start worrying about anything until that point, and I was like, all right. So it's kind of like at that point, I'm saying,
So like,
who am I? Where do I fit in? What part do I play? I don't know any of like
the messenger. Apparently.
No. Oh, I get.
Don't kill the messenger, ladies and gentlemen.
That's funny.
You're welcome.
Got a good laugh off of that one. Ha.
Damn. That's what I'm saying. Paul revered your way into that one. Paul revered your way into those people's history.
Since then, I've definitely gotten into way more shit than that and had way more things go down. That was just like that was the first thing that really hit me is, man, all these things and made me really focus on who people are. Because if someone I trusted that much who said they were a friend of mine was that easy to say, oh yeah, my girlfriend said you're lying. I think you're plotting on me now. And his mom even told my mom that.
I'd have laughed in his face though. Like I'd have been like, "Bro, we boys. Like you're hilarious. You think I'm lying? You could beat my ass. If you can't beat my ass, then shut up and get out of my face."
Damn.
Like, bro, if I'm telling you, if you're my boy right now, if you had a girlfriend that I watched fuck somebody else, I'd have been like, "Bro, your girlfriend's cheating on you." If you'd have told me "fuck you," I'd have been like, "Get the fuck out of my house, bro. Like that's disrespectful. I'm trying to help you out." Sorry, I mean, like, we still cool. You gonna have to definitely apologize and put some respect on my name before you come back and act like that. Because that's disrespectful, and that's not tolerated in this group. We don't disrespect each other. We only love each other.
And in my opinion, what it said to me was, oh, is that how you see me? You see me as someone who's just, break up with her just so I could get.
See, like, and that's what I'm saying is like, okay, then yeah, that's good that you lost that friendship because that's when people show their true colors. Whenever people act like that, if something happened like that to me, if like I have first of all, Chance has helped me out before with some of that shit too. Chance hit my phone before talking about, hey, I just came to smoke at this park. I seen this girl that you was talking to over here with this other dude, and like, so like basically I was like for real. So like I got the scoop on that because of him type shit. I found out some shit because of him. That's my boy. She tried to lie about it too the same day. I was like, he's not gonna lie to me. I've known this man since diapers, bro. We grew up together on everything. This man's not gonna lie to me about that. He don't even know this girl. He has zero reason to lie to me. That's whenever she like came clean. I type shit. So that's what I'm saying. Is like if my boy's gonna talk to me about something, I know they have a reason to. That's facts. They're not going to step. My boys don't have zero reason to step foot in my relationship unless they feel like it's. And that's the same how I feel. I'm not stepping foot in nobody's relationship. But for a fact that my guys are getting like dog shit.
So I'm not saying anything about the relationship unless I know something's up.
Right.
That's your business.
Right. It's none of my business. Yeah.
I'm not gonna go around saying, no, I don't like. I might say, hey man, not looking too happy. You could do better or something.
Or it's like figure thing like what's going on? Can I help you figure anything out? Like I'll talk to you like that. I'm not gonna be like, bro, you need to change your whole life, or bro, you need to get rid of this, whatever.
And no,
I'm gonna tell you like, bro, like you're not looking the same. You don't smile as often. So let's talk about it. Let's go get some drinks and talk about it. I got you. You know what I mean? So like at that point, it's like I can't condone anybody cheating on anybody, but if they do, I'm definitely letting everybody know because that's fucked up. That's super disrespectful. Super disrespectful. Loyalty doesn't exist in some people's hearts these days.
From that day, though, I mean, that change really did make a difference. Because it made me not only start to analyze myself and get better, which I did lose myself for a little bit, kind of trying to refigure myself out. It sounds super stupid, but when you go through disloyalty,
doesn't sound normal.
I had to find out what I was. It took me a couple years, probably till really towards the end of my freshman year of college to really. Yo, those were a rough past couple of years. What was I doing?
Yeah.
To really wrap myself together.
Refiguring yourself out is a part of life. Everybody, I feel like if you don't have something that completely tears you apart, then you're never gonna be put back together. You're never gonna be able to have that struggle of putting yourself back together, which means you're not getting a full range of emotional human life, in my opinion. You have to feel that low in a way. It's not good to. I don't condone anybody putting anybody in that type of low or anybody putting themselves in that type of low. But what I'm saying, of course, avoid all problems. But what I'm gonna say is life is gonna. Okay, so I'll say it like this: like life is gonna throw enough shit at you. Stop stepping in shit on your own. Like watch where you walk. Pay attention to what you're doing because life's coming for you. Like you can avoid certain things and you can just put yourself in good like perspectives. You can find good places to have yourself like grow apart from the bad shit that's gonna happen. But understand that bad shit that's gonna happen is necessary for you to understand what bad is. Bad yin and yang, and it's like you have to understand what bad times are to understand good times. Necessary.
Absolutely. And even today, every day I wake up, it's almost as if I'm refiguring myself out every day. Not that I'm figuring, because I know who I am now. I'm secure in who I am now, comfortable with it. But in a sense, I'm figuring out more so what I want to make of what.
Okay.
Because once you figure, most people, you should take I feel like not enough people take the time to really, they always like, who am I or what do I want? You really take the time every day. That's why I say meditate. That's the best time to do it. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, get yourself. Really think about all the things going on in your life. How do these things make you feel? Really, how do these things make you feel? If you're not satisfied with what's doing, why would you?
Right.
Every day I wake up, I think, what am I doing? How do these things make me? What can I do to possibly change these things if I need to, or improve on these things that I need to? And I visualize what I want my life to look like. And I always say this, that I was blessed to have become better friends with all of you, because I went from a friendship where I thought it was loyal to now I know how strong a friendship can be. And whenever you have people that truly love you around you, it completely changes how your entire life is.
I mean,
You can
yeah,
learn to let, and I say this, people say learn to love yourself before you can really have other people love you. But I'd say when I grew up, I did always just have that natural love for myself. But I had lost when I lost myself for that period of time. Becoming friends with you and everybody that we're friends with. Shout out to everybody in the squad. Y'all know who you are. Much love to all of you. But that really brought me together in a sense and helped me love myself again. And I not everyone's that privileged to do that, but I think once you start making progress on learning to love yourself again, you'll find your way there.
yeah.
Because you'll start realizing what you.
So I would to kind of drift off on that note. What you said is like they say is like you're supposed to learn how to love yourself before you love other people. I learned how to love myself. Or I guess like learned how to like love myself again after I was broken through the love of guys had for me. Like basically what I'm saying is like love that y'all had for me showed me that I should love myself less, and that I do have such a not just such a great support system, incredible people around me that I can, but like I'll never forget like the day that me and like my ex significant other broke up. It was on my brother's birthday, and I missed my brother's birthday because I was out of town, like with her type shit. So like we broke up on that day, and I drove back that night, and he was having a party. Basically, I cried the entire way. I was super down, bro. Like she had, I don't even want to get into that, but basically, uh, I was like, as soon as I arrived, bro, like I was dry, my tears went inside, and like all my people was there, type shit. At my dad's house, like partying with my brother for his birthday, and like got drunk as fuck, and I basically like I'm not condoning drinking your problems away, but I'm saying is like that night, like basically crying to my friends and my brother and drinking with everybody and just smiling through the pain, that shit changed my life, honestly, because it taught me how to like I guess love not just myself but my situation no matter what's like. And I've had some other situations where I've like utilized that information and overcome, so that shit changed my life a lot. I'll always be grateful for that. You guys definitely been opponents as well as my.
During all of that, for me, whenever I was going through it, I had to start developing anxiety. It was weird too, because whenever it's not something you're used to, and you're trying to figure out what is this, why do I feel this way? Walk into a room and you're constantly, what does everyone think about you, or like, why am I like this, or am I overthinking this? I've said that, or you think about things you've said days ago, and you're thinking over these things again. Why am I worried about what everyone else is thinking of what I'm doing? It's even to a point. It got to a point where you're thinking about what other people are thinking of you that aren't even in your life currently.
Right.
And social media did not help with that at the time, because people can constantly look at what you're doing, thinking, "Oh, they probably think that."
Or you can just like pay attention to people's profiles and be like, oh, they're doing, oh, they're doing.
And you're like, "What?"
Makes you feel bad and shit.
But and then through that though, I finally came to, that's when I really started meditating super hard and really on my ish and
My ish.
on my ish.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Hey man, really kid friendly, not really, but shouts out.
said, said kid friendly right after I said what the fuck is wrong with you.
Anyways,
It's not for the faint of heart.
but having everybody accept me for who I am, because my personal opinion, I don't think I fit in any one place, because it's personally, I'm not gonna ever be the person to say I'm this guy. You have those people say, I'm the basketball guy.
Okay,
Congratulations.
who the fuck says that?
There's people who make certain things their personality.
I guess. Who the fuck? Have you ever met anybody? I'm the basketball guy.
I've had people say,
That's fucking ridiculous.
I'm the funny guy of the group.
No.
I've heard it.
Bro.
I'm the funny guy of the group.
People are ridiculous.
We're all funny.
I believe it. I mean, people are ridiculous. Not everybody's funny yet.
No, I'm saying, everybody could be funny in the group. They could,
Debatable. I've met some people debatable. It's very debatable.
Okay.
Very debatable.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you meant. It's ridiculous for people to label themselves as any one thing. I feel you don't fall into any category. You don't fit in.
I'm not ever going to be someone who delves so much into one thing where it's just,
which is good.
This is my entire life.
Which is good. You should broaden your horizons at all times.
Yeah, I love to talk about a lot of different things, which is where you lose people sometimes. I don't give a fuck.
Then they deserve to be lost. They don't care enough about your situation to pay attention. That's not your problem nor theirs.
And that's what, yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said that because that's where I was going. Anything is having people around me that do actually accept you for everything that you are, regardless of the fact.
Right.
And care for you regardless of the fact. Like I've done some silly, stupid shit.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And some of the things I say, I have to look back on myself and say, did I just say that?
Did I do that? No, you did. You fell asleep in a bar on 6th Street. That happened. That shit was silly as fuck. I remember it. I had to take care of your bitch ass.
Dude, say that you haven't got to that point before.
I mean, I have, but I haven't made people take care of me. I've literally... I was talking about this the other day.
I didn't make you do anything. I just want to put that. Did I make you do anything? Did I make you do anything?
No, I could have left you in the bar.
You could have, but did I make you do it?
No.
Okay.
You're a whore.
You chose to because you love me.
I hate you right now. I was talking about this with my brother yesterday, and I literally, I promise you, I've blacked out. I've gotten drugged at a bar before. I've gotten super fucked up. I've literally never made anybody take care of me as far as, putting me in bed, making sure I don't throw up all over myself, cleaning up any of my throw up, anything like that. The worst that I've ever have happened is somebody, I fell asleep in the car on the way home and somebody had to bring me to the type shit.
All you had to do was bring me outside the bar to gather myself.
Sir, and I had to sit you down and talk you through your silly drunk bullshit for a clean 20 minutes before we went to the next bar.
I got it.
Barely. We stumbled across the street. Said, got your idea out and said, I can get it together. I can do this. I can do this. And the dude wasn't even paying attention. Whenever he looked at your card, he's like, all right, here you go. You're like, yes. And I was like, wow, you're so fucking victorious right now in your own head.
I was. It was a good night, though.
It was a great night, other than that portion of the night, the 30-minute portion.
With that being said, though, not everyone's gonna, and it's tough sometimes as well because people are always. I extend my hand and no one extends their hand back. You should always be willing to extend your hand, but don't go over and beyond for those who aren't gonna go give it back. And the funny thing is, everyone says, "Well, how do you know?" You can tell by the first couple interactions, or at least the first month you hang out with somebody.
Right.
If they're gonna continue to do it, and you say, I didn't see this coming. Sometimes, some people are shady and they'll finesse.
Yeah,
I mean, those times. But if you're the person to say, just keep doing it over and over and over again, I just have a big heart. At that point, that's when I say positivity kind of goes out the window.
There's a fine line.
Fuck that.
There's a fine line between being a good person and being a gullible idiot. And it's like, if you have the funds to make a change, don't just say, here you go, Red Cross, take all these funds, you make the change. Do some research and find out where you'd like to make some actual change and figure out where your money's actually going to be going. Figure out how much is going to be going where, what it's going to be paying for, actually understand what you're doing with these investments and funds. On a smaller scale, understand that you don't have to get any type of payment in return for your blessings that you give out to people or give out to family, whatever. honestly, it does. In my, at least in my experience, they have like a old like Christian saying, "Give whatever you give, God will give back 10 times, tenfold or whatever." That's I don't believe in that. That's bullshit. But
Okay, well, glad you said the whole quote. Just okay, fair enough.
but I will say that whenever you do actually give care or give a fuck about other people, it does tend to have a positive effect on your life. I'm not talking about financially. That doesn't necessarily matter because if you think about it, whenever God created the world, money didn't exist if God's real. So let's talk about that. I mean, not right now, but
Yeah,
not right
we
now.
can
What
do
I'm
that another time.
what I'm saying is like if you think God's bringing you finances, understand God doesn't.
That's actually a fair point. I never thought of it that way, but God's gonna if He cares about money.
God built the world. Why would He need a piece of paper
If
that
anything,
says Benjamin Franklin
he
on
might
it?
give you things such as love in your life. That's different.
I mean, I
But
guess
God understands.
you could
Love
say
better
God.
than
You
money.
could say God created gold, and that's used as currency, but He didn't create it in the. I mean, I guess I'm not God, so I can't say why He created it, but I don't think it was created for financial purposes,
Probably more of like it's valuable.
and because it's pretty.
Maybe that could be the reason.
I'm
I'm not the one to
not
get
either.
I'm not the one to get the answer.
And same with like diamonds. Like, I mean, they're created by pressure under whatever da 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 science, but they would be created by God in this theoretical sense. So therefore, why would He create that? I don't think He would create it for a financial purpose. Like say that's worth a lot of money. Like, why is that worth a lot of money? What is money?
A lot of people fall in love when it comes to things like that. People fall in love with kind words, or I guess it can go back to image or things being pretty. In a sense, is you polish thing to make it look good. It's like the sayings: you can polish a piece of shit as much as you want. It's still gonna be a piece of shit.
Put new rims and LED lights on a fucking 97 Toyota Camry, but it's still a 97 Toyota Camry.
But people fall for words more than they do with that. You know, I'd rather take the person who says "fuck you" over the person who says nice things all the time.
Right.
I'd be skeptical of the person who says nice things all the time.
Like, what's your agenda?
Yeah.
What do you got going
Isn't
on?
Are you really that nice? I don't believe you. No way. Most of the cases that I find is those people are usually the ones that, under their breath and you're I'm sitting there.
Bro, you need some help? Like, talk some things over, my guy. What's going on over there? Nah, I don't know, man. I do enjoy somebody that's outright with their opinions and backs them up with hard facts and hard evidence. This shit's fun to have those conversations because it's honestly like you actually get to dive into somebody's mind for a little bit and let them like teach you about how they grew up, their basis, morals, values are kind of cool. I enjoy conversations like
Honestly, you have to do that. If you're just straight up to me, you could tell me, look, I'll tolerate you. I don't really like you, but I'll tolerate you. I'd sit there and say, all right.
But then in that conversation, I'll be like, "Thank you for tolerating me. Now let's dive into why you don't like me. What I do to you?" Like I'll have a conversation with somebody if they're straight up with me. Because if somebody's gonna come out of their way and be like, "Hey, I'll tolerate you, but I don't like you," I'll be like, "All right, cool. Thanks for tolerating me. Let's get down to why you don't like me. Now that you're tolerating me, let's figure this shit out."
Yeah, I guess at that point. All right, we're already past the non-tolerating. We're making progress, I guess.
Since I'm being tolerated, I might as well annoy you now.
I guess we're making power moves here. I didn't know that you didn't tolerate me at some point. I guess we're making moves here.
Stepping up in the world.
Let's just keep this going while we're at it. More people need to understand what it means. Like take things straightforward, and you can sit there and say, "My sign." We don't.
Oh my god.
Don't get me wrong. Personally, I think astrology is a very interesting and very cool. We have this discussion all the time where I think personally there's a science behind it, and that there is a point where you could kind of describe how certain people are to an extent, and you could get sort of like a psychology to it. You know, you could better understand someone through the science of astrology.
Right.
But what I will also say is for you to be a person,
People take it too far.
my sign just we react to things. No, no. My ex-boyfriend cheated on me. No, he cheated on you because he sucks.
Or because you suck. I don't know how that relationship went.
Either one.
See, and like people will be like, people are not just quick to take that type of thing to like a super far extent, but they're also quick to be single minded and not tell the other side of the story. My boyfriend, like I don't know that situation, but I'm sure there's people on some. My boyfriend cheated on me, and he was a Taurus, so I can never date a Taurus again. What you don't know is that she fucked 3 other dudes that while she was with this man, but he didn't find out about that. But whenever she found out that he fucked somebody else, all hell broke loose, and now she can't date nobody else like that. And I guarantee that's at least 50% of the story. You're not getting the whole story, and I'm saying 50 just to be safe.
That's such a Gemini thing of you to say.
Oh my god. But look, okay, so I'll admit that I do have like I guess some Gemini tendencies, but I will also say that I have other tendencies every other sign because all of that is my opinion.
I won't say it's.
Okay, you don't
I
have
just think
to.
the way that people take it, definitely.
I would say that maybe the basis of what like it started on maybe not be bullshit, like actual like what the stars align. Maybe that science isn't bullshit, but I'm guaranteeing 100 past that whenever people started getting control of what each sign means and how this means that and this means that, that's exactly, in my opinion, the same type of control tactics that back in the game. Like if you follow these rules, this will happen. Or if you're this, then this. Like why do you, who are you to make this? Why do you say that?
Now, actually, the thing is, everyone wants to do everything, but actually, time to get to know somebody.
And see, but look,
they want everything other than that.
it's in my opinion, it's also people want a short route to get to know themselves better. What better way to read some daily login thing on your phone that tells you who you are? I don't have to sit and meditate to figure out who I am. I can get told by Steve from fucking what's it called? The
.com.
is it on Yahoo?
Astrology.com.
Is it astrology.com? I was thinking, what is the thing called whenever it's like when you read your horoscopes? Your little horoscope app. When you get a little horoscope app that tells you who you are every morning, you don't have to figure it out for yourself.
Make a fake one that
I feel like
it gives but it gives a brief description so they think it's real. And then when they wake up, when like we throw in once week, like you're a piece of shit.
You're a horrible person. How dare you think that this was gonna make you a better person? Get out there and work in the world, buddy.
I think that's more motivational, if anything.
Yeah, I agree. But people don't want to be. But that's what I'm saying is like most of those things that you read on horoscopes is not shit. It's mostly shit that you want to be told. None of it's like you haven't done shit this week. You've been laying on the couch all week. Like not like that's too specific, but you could be like, if you're a Taurus and it's the rising whatever, then this week or this month you've been extremely lazy and you need to get off your ass and go get a job, go find some friends that are more productive, figure your own shit out and stop being a bum. You never get shit like that. You never get shit like your relationship life has been absolute shit lately. Let's figure out how to fix it. You always get shit that's going to be positive and more like that's not realistic in my point. For every positive, there is a negative. It's good to be positive. That's great. But for you to say that there is no negative, it's kind of fake.
Absolutely.
So that's why because like most of these traits that they kind of attribute to these are always going to be positive. And then they'll have like your subcategories of like what these signs match best with these signs. What's that based off of? I feel like all of these people in the trial are different people, and like all of them are liars.
I think there's a fake one out there where it says you just get it. You're gonna eat food today.
What?
It's a horoscope sign that just says that. Horoscope says
You're gonna
Taurus is a very hungry sign.
You're gonna intake calories this morning.
How? How did it know?
How did it know?
I'm gonna eat food.
No way.
What?
Science.
Oh man. At that point, you can't just say, I need signs, so I'm no, you're more prone to being a dickhead
or an
prone
idiot.
to being a bitch because your sign says stop it. No. You control what you do. I don't care what you say. Unless you're diagnosed with a mental disorder, who would agree, even some of those with research or with a certain given situations, you're able to improve some of those, or even with given medicine, depending on what. So unless that's the case, I don't want to hear you say, I don't have control over my actions.
No,
yes, you
yeah.
do. Yes, you do.
I have a
Stop.
I have a fundamental belief that anybody that says that their sign is the reason for their fuck ups or their mistakes or their poor decision making are complete idiots, and they do not know what they're talking about. They're just looking for a cop out. It's like in my opinion, it's like when Bruce Jenner killed somebody in his car and then got a sex change.
What?
Did you know? You didn't know about that?
Oh, what happened?
There's like I'd like to look up the article for it, and I'll show you later. But it's like basically, I don't think it's controversial to say that he got the sex change because of that. I would say that probably, but basically, it was like involuntary manslaughter. Killed somebody with his car, and like I think the charges got dismissed, or I forgot what happened with the case. But basically, like not too long after that happened, here maybe whole thing. I learned about that on Joe Rogan's podcast. Crazy when I found that out.
Hot take.
Very hot take, but I don't know.
That's some hot cake.
Fuck you.
Hot cakes.
We're throwing that out. That's not gonna happen.
Here we are with a new segment, everybody.
Stop it.
Hot takes with hot cakes.
We're not doing that.
Where we eat hot cakes while giving hot take.
We don't have pancakes.
Yet.
Fuck you, Daniel.
But if you are to want to make the change, you got to do it yourself some way at some point. Now, I'm not gonna say everyone's as fortunate as I am or as we are to fall into a group of people who, yes, we fuck up a lot. Don't get it twisted. We definitely have our fair share of rough patches with each other. It's been some tough times. But we fight through it. We work on it. And we know we love each other, so we work to better ourselves, our relationship. I'm not saying everyone that is that fortunate, but it's going to take an effort no matter what relationship. Right. And this is the example I kind of want to give in sense of building a group that you like. Aside from this one, I kind of fell into this one and got lucky with it. Well, I'm not lucky because I do also put in the work to maintain the friendship.
Okay.
But, I like to go to shows a lot, and I was always like, man, I really would. Cause y'all don't enjoy it necessarily. Y'all might enjoy some of it, not all of it, as much as I do. The music.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to a show, I'm always like, man, I wish I had a rave fam. Wish I had a group to go with, I could rave with that I actually fucked with. And over time, I would just talk about it. You know what I mean? And I built my own. Mm-hmm. I have my own group of friends that I go with. Instead of just joining one, basically made one. Now I have a group that I go with, often.
That's good.
Exactly, and so instead of saying I wish this would come to me,
and that's another thing about this group that I love is like we support each other without having to physically be there. And we know that that's okay. Type shit. It's like
we don't always have to
I'm not gonna go to the gun range with Corey and Robbie just because I'm not into guns. It's not my thing, but at the same time, I know that they like that shit. So if they say they're going to the gun range, I know that they're going to be having fun. So I'm fucking have a good time, guys, type shit. So I know if you're going to a show, it's like not my thing type shit, but I know you're going to fucking have a blast with your people. So I was like, bro, fuck. safe out there. Just have a good time. If you need a ride back, let me know. Type
We've
shit.
had that happen.
That
Well,
was not voluntary, but hey, it happened.
no, yeah, you came. Well, not just you, but you were there in the mix.
You're welcome.
Came to the rescue. I'm just glad I made it through that. That was.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was times.
You were down bad.
We all have our times.
We do.
So we get through them.
Oh yeah.
We don't know what's gonna happen or when it happen, but
I mean the thing about it is just like you can only, I guess, be like self-loathing is for so long until you get unproductive. It's like I was watching that '70s show and like Eric was like super like down in the dumps when him and Donna broke up. But and then Red was like super on his ass, like get out of bed, like go fucking like break the yard or whatever, go trim the hedges. And Eric was like, oh, and he said, go do it. Like what the fuck, like so like he did that, and like later that night, like they went to go get a drink, and like Eric told him about how he's things. So Red was like, like this is like probably like the first time Red ever like got like kind of close with him. Was like I understand what you're going. Told him about how like whenever he was younger, like kind of a similar situation happened to him, where he thought he was gonna be this girl forever, lost her, and sad about it. So take a few days, take a couple days to yourself, figure everything out. Friday we'll be back in Adam, expected to work just as hard as you did. Like thank you, like type shit. It's like that's like all you need. It's like it's not just that. It's not like you're gonna be healed in 2 days, but just knowing that somebody's like, like I'm not gonna hassle you so hard. I know you need some heal. Like for somebody to like give you that type of like reassurance that maybe this is something you should be paying attention to, that loss or like whatever thing is at that point, that's very healing, in my opinion. Like it's very healing to know everything's okay. Like you have people that, right.
feel how you want to. Everyone always tells you gotta feel, or you shouldn't do that.
Why?
Exactly. That's such a big. Why should? And we've talked about this in podcasts before, but one of the biggest I always want to be vulnerable. Don't be gullible. Be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be yourself, unapologetically. Want as you please. Talk to people. Break down those barriers. Tell them, what do you like? Who are you? What do you do? What's up in your life? And that's going to let them open up to you, talk to you. Oh, this is my life. Oh, I actually take time to listen.
In this world, it's very high risk, high reward to do just that, to be completely vulnerable. Because the people that you're most vulnerable with are the people that can hurt you the most at all times. So it's like at any point, however vulnerable you're making yourself, you're kind of like setting like a C4 around your ankle and giving somebody else the detonator. Like you don't think they'll ever pull the trigger, but why wouldn't they? Or why couldn't they? They could at any time. Like it's very high risk, high reward. I'm lucky to stand that words of throughout infinity with the people that I have around me, but it's incredibly high risk. I've
every day
taken that fall before with some people. It's tough.
Same here. Same here, man. It happens. Doesn't mean
right. It's not the end of the world.
But also understand what situation.
It's not the end of the world. No, there's none of these. I mean, don't get me wrong. Take every situation as it is and understand it for what it can be, like what it is exactly, and like how to get over it, and how to deal. But nothing is going to be the world until it actually. At that point, we can't guarantee an afterlife, so stop worrying that much. It's gonna be. You'll figure it out. I believe.
Your world is your own simulation.
Okay.
The world's a simulation. You're your own simulation.
Potentially. Are you saying I created my own simulation? I'm not. Or are you saying
that each reality that we think of is our own simulation?
Potentially.
Reality we create is our own simulation.
Potentially.
This is just a fun fact. I just want to throw this out there.
That's a fact?
No, this is a fun fact right here. That wasn't a fun fact. This is a fun fact right here. I just kind of read on it today. So IBM just created the best quantum computer that's out right now. So it's better than any computer that's ever been made. Period, which is insane. Some people are also saying that because of a incident that happened of someone who time traveled back to 2001 from 2036, saying they used GE technology.
General engineering.
I don't know what G. I don't know, and it's
Pretty sure.
saying that IBM is about to find companies. Yeah.
GE, I think is.
So that's pretty crazy. So with that, some people are theorizing now that the quantum computers could lead to time travel.
What was this time travel that you're talking? What
he
happened?
came back and he said
Who's
he needed
he?
I can't. His name was.
So wait, you're saying that somebody did time travel?
Yeah, they're saying that he did time
Who's
travel back to 2001.
Who's saying that?
There was okay. So I read this.
Are you saying that time travel has happened?
That's what people believe.
Fact.
I'm not saying it's fact. I'm saying that this is a theory.
You said fact beforehand.
No, fun fact as in like this is what people believe.
You can't say the word fact.
The fact is that people believe this to be.
Okay.
That's the fact.
That's not a fact though. People believe God, and you can't.
Well, it's a fact that people. It's for a fact.
You can't say for a fact there is a God.
I can say for a fact they believe in God.
But you can't say there is a God, which is to say, it's like if I believe in aliens, how can I prove there's aliens? Well, if you believe in time travel, how can you prove time travel? That's my point.
Well,
I don't give a fuck about their beliefs. How about
fact? This
facts?
Is a theory. This is a theory.
There you go.
The theory that this man traveled back in time for an IBM computer. He traveled back with technology, and people are saying now that IBM
and GE are starting to work together.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Which is crazy because people are now theorizing that the quantum computer could
lead to time travel,
which isn't far fetched.
It's kind of far fetched as far as like it's only far fetched as much as you believe in that story about this dude time travel back. Like if that never happened, then what the fuck are we talking about? They could just start working together to make like calculators or some shit.
Quantum calculator.
Like if that story doesn't exist and that's just propaganda, then that whole theory means poop. But if it is real, then that could be the leading point to potentially figuring time travel, if that belief is actually real, potentially. But that also seems like, if that's real, then that also seems like that ties more into like, damn, it definitely is a simulation. Like people are time traveling now. You're bending time and space.
I want to say this: if we're really speaking things into existence, law of attraction, whatever, and we're making our own realities, put this into play real quick. The movie Orphan, about a girl, she was like 30-year-old woman or 40-year-old woman, pretended to be a child, but she looked young, got adopted by a family, tried to have sex with the dad at one point, killed him, and then tried to kill the mom, but then the mom ended up killing her or whatever. Recently, just not too long ago, a family adopted a kid who was said to be 6 years old. Turns out took him to the doctor. They said they had said she was 8 years old at one point, but then supposedly she was actually 22 years old.
What the fuck?
So they adopted a 22-year-old, and then she was low-key plotting to kill them, and it was doing different things.
What's that movie with Marlon and Sean and Marlon Wayans? Is like Little Man? No.
Oh, Little Man, yeah.
Little Man? Yeah. That movie's funny as fuck. But yeah, he was like, he had tattoos and fucking bullet holes in his arms and shit. And he's supposed to be a baby.
So at what point are we saying, that was a movie with, it's like, okay, could be real, but nah, that wouldn't happen. And here we are.
I mean, what I'm saying is like, you're talking about like figuring out exactly what. First of all, it's like time seems like it's a man-made structure. Just to like measure things, as far as like
time.
Right? How would you bend time to like? You'd have to. I don't even know what you would have to do.
It would work differently.
How would that work differently? If you're talking about creating simulations inside of a computer, how would that simulation have anything to do with our reality? Saying that something created inside the quantum computer
potentially This a crossover
would
episode?
potentially would exit the quantum computer into our reality, then time travel. So it would have to figure out and understand what time is, figure out how to, or already know because it's a being that came out of a quantum computer. How the fuck are you gonna get a being out of a quantum computer? Like just extract that. It's like a theory, like maybe I don't know, but just like in theory, it doesn't. Time travel doesn't seem possible. Come up with some hard facts. It's like, damn, we didn't know this shit.
It's gonna come out eventually.
Hopefully,
the fact of
well, I don't know about hopefully. It's like, isn't there a saying? It's like, actually, no, it was fucking Rick and Morty. Actually, said when the most disappointing thing about learning how to travel through dimensions and time is find out soon that you're the only person who will ever travel through dimensions in time. Because it's like once somebody figures that shit out, you think give that out to everybody? Like you think unless you figure it out, you're ever gonna time travel?
Oh, if I figure it out, I'm not letting anybody know.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like that secret or that process would be worth life itself. Probably have a target on your neck. Yeah. Because think about it this way: is like how many big businesses would ultimately take a downfall if you were to go back in time and fix all the shit that would solve all of our problems, right?
That's on some. What's that movie? Minority Report.
Oh yeah.
I'm
right. So that's what I'm saying. Is like I don't know. I guess you could get there potentially, but that'd be super strange and weird as fuck. And I don't know if I'm down for it. Like,
so I don't know if that's a great idea. With that being said, I guess follow your dreams, stay positive.
Fucking.
If we're all in a simulation, then fucking live your life and create your own reality. If that's the case, you create your own reality. That's kind of where I was going with that tied in together.
Fucking
reality.
Do your meditations, write down your goals, fucking be an honest person, not an asshole, and fucking suck today's dick and figure out your own shit.
Be positive, don't be fake, okay? That's a real one. Be positive, don't be fake, be real with it, be a genuinely person. Yes, you don't have to lie to people to be. Oh, I was sparing their feelings. Fuck you. You're a worse person. If that's the case.
Don't be pessimistic. It's better to be optimistic. Things can always change for about yourself.
And before we go, quick shout out, Chance Mater, Joel Teagues, at Fatality. That's Chance's Twitter, and at Teagues TV. That's gonna be Joel's Twitter. They help us out with these videos, help us out with our media. That's a job. We really appreciate them with everything. Also, check us out on Twitter. My at's gonna be at RadDudeDandy.
Mine is at Josh_M7, and our podcast is at Finish Far on Twitter and Instagram.
So on both, it's at Finish. So it's just far from finished, but
backwards.
Backwards. So
Backwoods.
Yeah. And we're gonna be posting clips on there. We're gonna keep everyone updated. We're gonna see more content, and we just started doing videos, so things are just gonna keep better. So definitely stay tuned if you like our content. Let us know, talk to us, message us. We love feedback. Before too long, we might set something up on Discord where you guys can talk to us and kind of give us more about how you feel about what we do.
We're trying to get our feet off the ground before we get into some fancy schmancy things like that. But once we get this show on the road, you guys are going to have a lot of opportunities to interact with us and figure out some questions that you might have for us, or maybe even topics you'd like to hear our opinions on.
And this is a community we're trying to build here. All about positivity, all about pushing people better. So don't be afraid to talk to us. Don't be afraid to lend a helping hand to anybody out there. And if you're nervous about doing something, step out of your comfort zone once in a while. Don't get too crazy. Start off small, of course. But feel like you want to make a change, don't be afraid to talk to us. That's pretty much everything I have. Anything else you want to say, Josh?
Let's get it.
Boppity boppity boop.
Bippity boop bop, lippity blop.
All right, this was Far From Finished. Thank you everybody for listening. Y'all take care.
You're welcome, Dan.